Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
Jake Thompson was a pedestrian soul living a life that barely rippled the monotonous surface of his small-town existence. At 28 years old, he dedicated himself to the quaint little bookstore named The Well-Read Worm, concocting fantastical worlds woven between the pages while yearning for an adventure that remained perpetually elusive. The books provided solace, yet there was an ache inside that whispered for something beyond the ordinary. An adventure, a love story, the kind that evoked passion. Amidst the tranquil routine, nature rearranged the ordinary tapestry of his life in a most extraordinary way. On an otherwise unremarkable Tuesday, as Jake half-heartedly flipped through the pages of a well-loved novel, an unexpected flash of brilliance ignited the sky outside. The blinding light, erratic in its display, was quickly followed by an earth-shattering crash that sent vibrations through his simple home. Heart racing, Jake scrambled out of his armchair and dashed through the threshold, his pulse pounding with curiosity and trepidation. "What the hell?" he muttered, glancing around at the suburban setting that had suddenly and unwittingly turned into a scene from a sci-fi drama. It was upon reaching his backyard that he choked on his breath. A sleek, metallic spaceship, shimmering with interstellar hues, lay awkwardly on its side, smoke billowing from its hull. "Is this a prank?" Jake questioned, disbelief blending with undeniable intrigue. As he cautiously approached, the ship's hatch swung open with a hiss, revealing a figure that stepped into the light. Emerging from the smoky depths was Princess Selene, her presence commanding as vibrant light cascaded around her in a surreal display. She was breathtaking, adorned in a flowing gown that glittered like the night sky, her hair cascading like liquid silk down her back. Jake felt something intense stir within him, an unfamiliar flutter that stole his breath. "Help me!" she cried out, her voice trembling with desperation and authority. Jake's heart tightened at the sight of vulnerability layered beneath her majestic facade. "Are you real?" he stammered, still grappling with the absurdity of the situation. "Yes," she replied emphatically, taking a cautious step closer as her brilliant eyes searched his. "I am Selene of the House of Lysaria. Please, I need your help." Jake blinked, unsure of how to process such a request. He glanced over his shoulder to ensure he wasn't hallucinating, wondering how he could be involved in a cosmic tale. "How can I help?" "You just crashed your spaceship. King Zorath's forces are hunting me. I need asylum," she explained, breath hitching as fear re-emerged in her gaze. Her presence was undeniable, but the energy of urgency surrounded her. Before he could comprehend the weight of her words, a small figure appeared behind the princess. Leela, Selene's daughter. The little girl had luminous skin and large, inquisitive eyes, just like her mother. "Mommy, are we safe now?" she asked, her soft voice drawing Jake's attention immediately. Leela. Selene turned, crouching down to embrace her daughter, the softness in her demeanor contrasting with the gravity of their encounter. "Yes, my dear. We are safe here." Jake felt an unfamiliar emotion stir within him, a mix of protectiveness and yearning. Without even knowing why, he felt drawn to both the princess and her daughter. "All right," he finally said, firmly yet uncertainly. "Let's start with introductions and how you ended up in my backyard." As Selene relayed snippets of her kingdom, the imminent danger, and the chaos that led to their fateful arrival, Jake grasped how extraordinary this moment was. His heart raced as a spark ignited in his chest, guiding him toward a choice that would forever alter the course of his uneventful life. Thus began a journey neither of them anticipated, a whirlwind adventure that would blend their worlds together, interweaving fate with the threads of love, vulnerability, and the unknown. The days following Selene and Lila's arrival flowed like a bizarre dream. Jake transformed his modest home into a classroom, a space filled with eclectic culture lessons that merged fantastical alien traits with the mundanities of human existence. One fateful evening, as darkness cloaked the sky, Jake set the table, conscious of the peculiar fusion they were creating. "All right." The aroma wafted through the air, a contrast to the galactic scents Celine and Lila were familiar with. Celine's eyes widened with interest mixed with skepticism. "What is this delicacy?" "Pizza," she queried, tilting her head slightly as she considered the slice as if it were a strange organism. "Exactly. It's a classic," Jake replied, feeling the thrill of sharing this earthly joy with them. He placed a slice on 2 plates, one for Celine and another for Lila, who fidgeted in excitement. "Try it, Mommy," Lila encouraged eagerly, her innocent gaze locked onto her mother. As Celine lifted the slice to her lips, the unfamiliarity of it all became evident, and Jake felt a surge of endearment watching her react. The cheese stretched dramatically as she took a bite, and a moment later a gooey mess slipped from her grasp. Tomato sauce splattered against her cheek, creating a juxtaposition of elegance and chaos. Jake burst into laughter, catching her surprise morph into a smile. "You have a little sauce there," he chuckled softly, wiping his own mouth with an index finger. "Do I?" Celine gasped, glancing at Lila, who giggled uncontrollably. From that moment on, meals were frantic affairs, often ending in laughter and playful messiness. They savored experiences like children, exploring flavors that played merry tricks on their perceptions. Each night, Jake found himself enchanted, revealing layers of their personalities amidst the culinary escapades. With each passing day, Jake's desire for Celine intensified, eclipsing everything he thought he understood about attraction. Their moments together blurred the lines between duty and desire. He grew obsessed with the melody of her voice, the grace with which she moved, and even the warmth of her laughter. Yet, navigating the complexities of intertwined cultures presented obstacles. An afternoon visit to the town market revealed the depth of their differences. The vibrant buzz of life around them enveloped Celine and Lila, spurring curiosity while simultaneously creating chaos. "Do you see that?" "It's called a hot dog," Jake said, pointing to a vendor while attempting to manage Lila, who darted away. "They're very popular." He laughed nervously as Celine raised an eyebrow, clearly bewildered. "Yes, and they are strangely disassembled," she murmured, assessing the encased meat with skepticism. "Shall we try?" Lila begged, tugging at her mother's hand with bright-eyed excitement. In the marketplace, they encountered a local child who curiously approached. "What planet are you from?" he shouted, awestruck by Celine's otherworldly elegance. The question prompted chaos. Jake quickly deflected with a smile, determined to diffuse the curious yet judgmental whispers of onlookers. "We're from a very special place. Just visiting for a bit." He felt protective instincts surge, observed how Celine and Lila braced themselves against judgment, and a fire ignited in his heart. The market became an arena of laughter and discomfort, and the 3 of them fought to balance between belonging and standing apart. They tried every food item that came their way, forever engaged in whimsical dialogue about what it meant to be human, while heartache danced in the spaces left unspoken. In quiet moments after their adventurous days, the 3 shared stories under starry night skies, revealing truths layered within each of their hearts. They discovered the beauty of acceptance, but also the struggle that came with desire, woven tightly among the shadows of vulnerability. Yet, under this shared understanding, Jake felt his desire sharpen into clarity. He was falling for Celine. The depths of her spirit intrigued him, and he felt want, a powerful desire to protect her and Lila as they forged their unique family dynamic together. As weeks turned into a growing tapestry of experiences, the connection between Jake, Celine, and Lila flourished against the backdrop of simple joys. Each shared moment was infused with newfound intimacy, a growing warmth that interlaced their lives, drawing them closer together. One crisp autumn day, Jake suggested they attend a local fair. The invitation carried the weight of excitement as Celine looked up at him with those radiant eyes, her eagerness palpable. "What is a fair?" she asked, tilting her head, amusement dancing across her features. "It's like a celebration. There will be food, games, and rides," Jake explained, smiling at her genuine curiosity. "You'll love it, I promise." When they arrived, a cacophony of vibrant lights danced around them, laughter mingling with the tantalizing aroma of funnel cakes and popcorn. The atmosphere was electric, each pulse echoing in Jake's chest as they navigated through the throngs of excitement. "Look at those cloud-like structures," Celine exclaimed, pointing toward the Ferris wheel that towered against the night sky. Her wonder was truly enchanting. "Let's ride it," Leela chimed eagerly, tugging at both their hands, her excitement infectious. With the trio aboard, a wave of exhilaration swept over Jake. As the wheel climbed higher, the world below shrank away, shrinking the chaos into distant echoes. Leela squealed in delight, while Jake marveled at Celine's beauty framed against the stars. The moment felt infinite, suspended in time. "Isn't it beautiful?" Jake asked, stealing a glance at Celine, whose gaze remained fixed on the horizon, both entranced and vulnerable. "Indeed," she replied softly, voice almost lost amid the thrills. "Why does it feel different up here?" "I think because we are free." "For just a moment," Jake said, summoning the nerve to reach for her hand. Their fingers brushed, and a current flowed through him that felt profoundly intense. As they descended, the urgency of the moment crackled. Jake leaned closer, anticipation hanging in the air. But their intimate moment was abruptly shattered when Leela's innocent glee broke through the tension. "Are you two going to kiss?" she teased, eyes sparkling with mischief and the naivety of childhood. A warm blush crept onto Jake's cheeks, nerves bubbling as he laughed it off. "Only if it's a prize at the end of the ride." Their flirtatious banter mixed with subtle desire lingered in their minds, introducing complexity to the growing bond they shared. As they disembarked, the rest of the fair was genuine chaos, filled with laughter and spirited competitions, but both of them remained aware of the spark lurking beneath the surface. As the evening wore on and the last vestiges of twilight faded, they found themselves meandering silently under the stars. Jake reached out, a subtle gesture that offered comfort. "Celine, I—" Before he could finish, a commotion erupted nearby. Megan, a vibrant local girl with an effortless charm, approached Jake with eyes that sparkled with interest. "Hey there. You look lost in thought. You attending this fair alone?" Her flirtation with Jake pierced the air deeply. Celine's gaze hardened slightly. Recognizing the tension, Jake felt torn. He flashed Megan an awkward smile, sidestepping the growing emotions and turning his attention back to Celine. "It's just—" "We were having fun over there," Jake replied, deflecting the probing curiosity. He could feel Celine beside him. Her mood shifted as jealousy flared in her eyes. Megan continued her banter, but Jake felt the tension thickening between him and Celine. "All right, I'm gonna get some cotton candy. See you," he said brightly, shaking free from the moment. As he walked away, he sensed Celine's hurt quietly unfold beside him. They found temporary refuge in the laughter around them. Yet the gap shifted uncomfortably between them, a complexity emerging from the encounters of the fair. "Are you all right?" Jake finally asked when they settled on a bench, their hands inches apart. "I am perplexed," she admitted quietly. "Why do I feel this strange emotion?" "Your kind seems to revel in flirtation." Jake regarded her thoughtfully, feeling their connection deepen in ways he hadn't anticipated. "It's just part of human nature, I guess. Sometimes it makes us act foolishly." "Foolishness can be burdensome," she whispered, brushing her thumb along her cheek, making the desire within him intensify. "I could never be foolish with you," Jake replied, his heart racing. "You mean more to me than anyone else?" As the fair around them faded to a dull hum, their connection swirled like an unseen thread, drawing them closer. In shared vulnerability, they navigated through uncertainty, feeling desire simmer, igniting promises waiting to be unveiled beneath the surface. As their bond solidified, the undercurrents of affection became palpable. Yet harmony often coexists with tension, and soon their love was threatened by the arrival of Prince Kyle, a regal figure who cast shadows over their newfound happiness. Kyle's presence loomed like dark storm clouds as he descended upon Jake's world, determined to reclaim what he believed belonged to him. Celine. Kyle radiated authority, dressed in royal fashion that resonated with power and command. A formidable figure as he approached Jake in the local cafe that had once been a safe haven. "Where is she?" Kyle demanded, voice full of menace as he scanned the room. "Where is the princess?" His gaze landed on Jake, eyes sharp and calculating, revealing no hint of vulnerability. Jake's heart raced, a wave of protectiveness surging within him. "She's here, but she's not going anywhere with you," he asserted firmly, standing tall despite the intimidating presence. Kyle smirked, condescension draping over him like an uncomfortable cloak. "You think you can keep her? She is my responsibility, and I will not allow a human to distract her from her destiny." Jake felt reality crashing down upon him. The staggering weight of uncertainty clawed at his insides, heightened by the unyielding reality of Kyle's position. "Celine chooses her own path," he replied, voice steady yet vulnerable. "Does she?" Kyle pressed, his tone mocking as he aligned his gaze with Jake's raw emotion. "You are naive. She was born into royalty, an existence predefined in duty, not choice. You're just a fleeting moment to her." In the following days, the atmosphere shifted uneasily. Even as Jake tried to hold on to his love with Celine, the shadows of doubt crept into their shared moments. Would she choose her duty over her heart? The thought rattled his belief system as he grappled with feelings of insecurity. "What if he's right?" Jake asked one evening as they strolled through the dimly lit park, the tension palpable between them. He felt vulnerability wash over him as worry seeped into the edges of their connection. "Jake," she paused, turning to face him. "I chose to seek a life away from obligation. I am here for a reason." Her voice trembled slightly, a beautiful, emotional truth that tugged at his heartstrings. I don't want to lose you," he confessed, eyes searching hers for understanding. For a brief moment they stood enveloped in silence, the weight of their unspoken desires burning like embers. But Kyle's relentless pursuit loomed like a specter. Leela's innocent laughter suddenly echoed across the corners of the park, breaking the tension and intertwining it with childlike wonder. The young girl danced enjoyably nearby, oblivious to the emotional storm brewing between her mother and Jake. "Mommy, look, Lila called, holding a wildflower and twirling amidst the soft glow blossoming in the night. It bridged the gap, reminding both of the bonds they had forged. Celine glanced down at Lila, and her heart softened. "A beautiful flower, my love," she exclaimed, painting her voice with tenderness. She knelt beside her daughter, the moment of joy illuminating an otherwise heavy evening. As Jake witnessed the interaction, he too found belonging amidst vulnerability. In the whirlwind of confusion, the bond he felt with Celine ignited with fervor, one rooted in deeper connection rather than mere desire. Yet the undercurrents of reality persisted. That evening, Celine turned serious, pulling Jake aside to reveal a new complexity. "Kyle will not relent, Jake. I am not yet established in this world. The laws of my home cannot be overlooked. Then we'll fight it together," he replied, the urge to protect overpowering the fears coiling tightly around his heart. "We must navigate the intricacies of love and duty," Celine whispered, threading her fingers through his. "Your presence is hope to me, but the tide is turning." Their final moments together lingered delicately as doubts sloshed around them, but the fear of separation fueled an indomitable desire. The bond they had nurtured fought against the shadows surrounding them. Each unspoken word and fleeting touch cultivated seeds of strength as they determined to stand firm in the face of uncertainty. The inevitable climax arrived with the confrontation, testing the bonds they had forged. The air hummed with tension as Jake, Celine, and Lila stood together, united against the trial that Kyle represented. They gathered at an open square, where the bustling sounds of evening celebrated life while preparing for the assessing storm of uncertainty. Celine remained determined, her strength personified as she faced Kyle, dignity extending from her core. "Kale," she shouted, cutting through the din of merriment, "I will not return to Lysaria. You cannot dictate my fate any longer." "Celine, this man cannot protect you as I can," Kyle retorted, stepping forward with arrogance, darkness etched in his features. "You think the emotions you share can provide you stability? It is reckless to abandon your responsibilities." The clamor around them waned, and the bystanders witnessed the fierce standoff brimming with tension. Jake felt the weight of the crowd's gaze, an honor bestowed upon them but suffused with danger. Emotions provide the greatest strength. Jake countered defiantly, moving closer to Celine's side, feeling her unwavering presence beside him. "You may wear your crown, but liberation is in choosing who to love, not being forced into it." Kyle laughed coldly, met with murmurs from the onlookers. "You believe that wise?" he sneered. "But you know nothing of her world or the true nature of her duties." Celine squared her shoulders, undeterred. "I no longer wish to follow the paths dictated by a throne. I seek love and authentic connection. You cannot strip me of that, right?" "Love and connection do not guarantee safety?" Kyle's voice radiated challenge. "You are risking everything for a fleeting infatuation. He is not your destiny. I am." "Destiny?" Leela said, surprising them all, her innocent bravado silencing the bickering adults. "My mommy is my destiny, and I like Jake. He makes us happy." The simplicity of her words resonated in the hearts of everyone present. Celine's eyes watered as she hugged her daughter, feeling the bonds of their family unite in that moment. Jake seized the opportunity, his heart swelling with affection. "We are a family now, Kyle, whether you approve or not," he asserted, radiating determination. "Celine chose to stand with us against an uncertain future. Love is powerful, greater than fear." The silence hung thick in the air, fraying nerves as Kyle grappled with the emotional truth before him. "You can't escape your nature, Celine." "You think that's true?" Celine replied, her voice strong and unwavering. "Then let me show you what it means to be free." In that moment, something shifted. The darkness that had cloaked Kyle began to recede as uncertainty transformed into reluctant understanding. "You will regret this decision," he warned, but with less venom, sensing hostility shift to reluctant acceptance. Celine stood her ground, resolve fortifying her stance. "No, Kyle, you will regret trying to control a heart that wishes to be free. This heart desires to love." As the crowd erupted in supportive murmurs, Jake felt the air shifting again, charged with possibility. He gripped Celine's hand tighter, their fingers entwined, standing resolutely while the evening unfolded into a celebration of unity. "Is this your final choice?" Kyle inquired, voice steady yet tinged with vulnerability. "It is," Celine answered, steely resolve lighting her features. With a reluctant acknowledgement, Kyle stepped back, allowing the tension to fade. Leela's laughter broke through the heaviness as she hugged her mother in triumph, joy radiating from their familial bond. Jake embraced Celine, feeling the weight of the world escape his shoulders. "You did it. We did it." The warmth of victory settled around them, each heartbeat syncopated, driven by a newfound love. In the aftermath, they turned toward a future painted in possibility, embracing each poignant moment as a family. Heartbeats reverberated with intertwined fates, forging paths ahead as light enveloped them in a dream they dared to follow. With the storm of confrontation past, a new chapter beckoned. As a celebration of their victory unfolded, excitement pulsed through the air like an electric current. Together, they would turn this moment of conflict into an invitation for love to blossom. Preparation began in earnest, with Jake, Celine, and Lila working together to arrange a gathering that would reflect their unique connection. The backyard became a tapestry of vibrant colors, festival lights, and mingling cultures, a celebration encapsulating joy and acceptance for all to witness. Jake stepped back, surveying the scene. "We're really doing this," he said aloud, pondering how remarkable it was to unite worlds under one banner of love. Celine bustled beside him, her face glowing with excitement and beauty. "Yes, this day will be beautiful. Better than any celebration I have known," she announced, enthusiasm cascading through her words. "Only if we incorporate alien elements too, right?" Leela interjected, bouncing alongside them with boundless energy. "Like star-shaped cookies and luminous lights?" "Yes, my little star. You inspire me," Celine replied, smiling brightly as she cupped Lila's face. They moved fluidly throughout the day, embracing laughter and creativity. By the time evening approached, the air buzzed with anticipation, mingling with warmth and acceptance. Jake felt a comforting sense of belonging accompany him as friends and neighbors began to gather, illuminating the backyard with their presence. As twilight melted into night, amidst music and joy, it became clear that this was a celebration of new beginnings. Leela spun through the crowd, radiating light and life, drawing smiles from everyone she encountered. When Celine and Jake stepped into the center of the gathering, Lila took their hands together, beaming with pride. "Look, my mommy and Jake are getting cozy," she cheered innocently, the warmth of love spreading through them. Celine's cheeks flushed pink, her eyes gleaming with affection as she felt Jake's presence close by. Each moment felt rich with potential, every heartbeat resonating together against a backdrop of stars. As the festivities surged, Jake and Celine found a moment to step aside. "You've made this night magical," Jake said, gazing deeply into her radiant eyes. "I didn't realize how much I needed you until you came into my world." "Jake, you've changed everything for me," she replied, tenderness thick in her voice. "You fought for us. Your courage is a rare gift." The air folded into sacred silence, laden with desire. The worlds that separated them felt flimsy and irrelevant as Jake pulled Celine closer, the world fading away. Finally, their lips connected in a gentle, passionate kiss. Soft as it was deep, the connection weaving through the very fabric of their beings. Each brush ignited the flame of longing they had fought to suppress, the freedom of their love wrapping around them like the night itself. When they parted, breathless and grinning, reality flooded back amongst the joyous music and laughter. They returned to the crowd hand in hand, the love evident in every welcoming smile. Amid the celebration, Jake leaned closer to Celine, whispering, "Let's continue to ride the tides of this unpredictable journey together. No more hesitations." "Yes, our paths are now intertwined," Celine declared, eyes aglow with determination. "We shall forge a life that intertwines love across worlds." As they twirled through the night, love eclipsed the barriers that once separated them, transcending the specters of doubt that had haunted their steps. The evening swirled around them, filled with laughter, supportive voices, and the promise of an uncharted tomorrow. Together, they embraced the unpredictability of life, wandering beyond stars and dimensions, creating their reality replete with a love that bridged galaxies. Their hearts danced in tandem, moving gracefully forward into a future harmonized by the exquisite beauty of the unknown, forever raw and rich in possibility.